Live and local with coverage you can count on. This is WNEM TV5 News at 5.
Twice in 1 week, an adult working at a local school accused of having sex with an underage student. And tonight, parents question why they weren't alarmed sooner. Thanks for joining us. I'm Katie O'Mara.
I'm Sam Merrill. This time it's a janitor charged with sleeping with a 16-year-old girl, but the parents didn't find out until days after he was arrested. So why the delay? James Felton tonight asking the tough questions.
I am really outraged about the situation.
Angela Cannon has a child that attends Hamady Middle High School. She can't believe she wasn't notified about this man, 23-year-old Jordan White, accused of having sex with a 16-year-old student. White, who worked at the school as a janitor, was arrested by Mount Morris Township Police on Monday. But many parents like Cannon didn't find out about the arrest until Thursday.
3 days later, and no parent was informed or no newsletters. Nothing. It's just an outrage.
So we came here to the superintendent's office to ask her the tough questions. Why wait 3 days after an arrest before you notify parents? Do you feel 3 days was a timely manner?
I do. You know, in another instance it may have been more time, in another instance it may have been less time. It was just the right time, we felt. He was arraigned that morning and charged, and we just felt that was the right time to let parents know what was going on.
That's Superintendent Sally Stevens. She tells us she wanted to get her facts straight before alerting parents. But she admits she knew why White was arrested on Monday. So we wanted to know why she didn't act sooner.
Knowing why he was arrested, why not send some, because then you had some facts there. Why not at least share those facts with your parents?
You know, you take a risk. You're never going to make everyone happy. Everyone's going to have their own opinion about when, if, what, but we just do the best that we can to keep our parents informed. And above all, you know, my main concern is the safety of our students.
Meanwhile, Cannon hopes school administrators do a better job of keeping her in the loop in the future.
All parents, the community should have been informed at the very beginning.
Reporting in Genesee County, James Felton, WNEM TV5.
White was not employed by the school, but by a janitorial service that was contracted by the district. That service says his background check turned up clean.
New tonight, a local man charged in the death of his girlfriend's 1-year-old son. It all started on January 10th when police found the boy dead inside his Saginaw home. It happened on Green Street near Superior. Today, DeMarcus Allen was arraigned on first-degree homicide and child abuse charges. If convicted, he faces life in prison without the possibility of parole.
A substitute teacher is facing more than a dozen charges for reportedly duct taping the mouths of some students. It allegedly happened at the Brownell STEM Academy in Flint. The teacher, whose name has not been released, faces 15 counts of assault and battery. Police say he duct taped the mouths of 16 students back on December the 3rd. He has since been fired.
Breaking news right now, 2 students have been shot at a Philadelphia high school. Police say both the male and female students were shot in the arm.
Yeah, authorities say it's unclear at this point whether those shots actually came from inside or outside the building, but they do believe the gunman is a fellow student. That suspect, by the way, was just arrested moments ago.
And it happened at the Delaware Valley Charter School, which is in North Philadelphia. The 2 victims are at the hospital in stable condition.
All right, let's get you outside now. A live look over Frankenmuth. Another cold day across mid-Michigan.
And we could see some more snow over the weekend. Chief Meteorologist Doug Motes has a look at that. Doug.
Not a lot of snow this weekend, just scattered light stuff. The temperature's really going to be the big story because not only is it going to be cold tonight and over the weekend, but a major cooling trend once again will take shape next week. Here's a look at our area temperatures right now. 23 in Saginaw, 24 in Flint, so already very cold outside. And the wind chills bring it down into the teens and single digits. 10 right now, your feels like in Saginaw, it feels like 15 degrees. Now the snow that we'll see is as a result of a very slow moving area of low pressure. This is the same system that brought snow to the region last night, and you can still see a little bit of a spin off of this low. It will bring this back side of this snow through our area over the course of tonight and on Saturday, but again, not a ton of snow going to be falling over our area. Teens overnight tonight, single-digit wind chill values. That light scattered snow, as I said, over the next couple of days, and then the bottom falls out once again. Highs for teens next week. We'll take a look at all of the numbers coming up in your first 1 5 7-day forecast in just a few minutes.
They're accused of killing a 6-year-old girl, and today the defense called its first and only witness in the trial of Michael Lawrence and Rico Saldana. Prosecutors say the two worked together in a drive-by shooting that killed Layla Jones in 2012. But could today's witness sway the jurors otherwise? WNEM TV5's Gino Vici reports.
We're going to hear one more witness in this case.
4 grueling days of testimony have come to an end in the murder trial of Layla Jones. It is now up to a jury to decide if Michael Lawrence and Rico Saldana will head to prison or walk free.
I want you all back Tuesday morning at 9 a.m. for closing arguments.
The defense called on its only witness today, a woman who said little except that she had an intimate relationship with Lawrence. Neither defendant testified. The jury will have to decide whether or not the prosecutor's key witness was credible. He testified Saldana was the driver and Lawrence was one of 2 shooters, and whether or not bullets fired from a car driven by Saldana actually killed the 6-year-old, or was it return fire from someone else's vehicle, or perhaps another location, as the defense suggested, or perhaps shots from behind the house where young Layla was killed. Many important questions the jury will have to answer.
In this case, it's probably equally important as to what the testimony and evidence does not show.
And WNEM TV5's Gino Vici joins us live from the Continuous News Center with more now. Gino, when does it look like this case will go to the jury?
Well, Katie, it could happen as early as Tuesday. That's when the jury will hold closing arguments, and then the judge will give his jury instruction. Now, it only took 2.5 hours to convict Levon Greer on similar charges, and it was almost with the exact same evidence last year. Katie, back to you.
Gino, interesting. Thank you. And count on WNEM TV5 for continuing coverage as the Michael Lawrence and Rico Saldana trial continues next week. We will keep you posted on air online at WNEM.com.
Family and friends are gathering to remember a local man killed over the weekend. Derico Carter became Flint's first homicide victim of the year when he was shot and killed Saturday morning. Police believe it happened after he got into some sort of argument at the Z Club. What local pastors are now calling an urban peace intervention got underway just a few moments ago. There will be a candlelight vigil in Carter's honor tonight at 6. Both of these events, by the way, at the Joy Tabernacle Church on Chevrolet Avenue in Flint. Another scam alert this week, this time from the Michigan Supreme Court. It's warning people about an email notice that says the recipient is actually accused of using software illegally. It then instructs that person to download an attached complaint or click on the website link. And the court says this is merely an effort to get a virus onto your computer. If you're contacted in this way, the court says you should just contact the police.
It is known for high crime rates and a massive budget deficit, but Flint is heading in the right direction. Well, that's according to the city's emergency financial manager, Darnell Early,
who gave an update today on how the city is progressing. But as TV5's Elena Holland reports, there's still a lot of work to be done.
So the focus will continue.
Emergency manager Darnell Early says Flint is putting the train back on the tracks.
It's up to the elected officials and the community to drive that train, and that's the goal of this. And so, you know, I agree with him 100%. We don't. My job is to work myself out of a job.
Early's comments come on the heels of Governor Snyder's State of the State address. The governor, who mentioned Flint's progress in a speech, insists his goal is to end the need for emergency managers in Michigan.
We have this reduction in crime. That's a good thing. However, if people aren't safe in their homes, if people are still being victims of burglaries, that's what causes people to leave the community.
Police Chief Tolbert explains that the plan is to increase a feeling of security in the city of Flint. Things like a regulation of pawn shops, management of social media, and adding 9 more police officers. The hope is to continue that decrease in crime rates, as pointed out by Governor Snyder. Reducing crime and blight are just some of the big initiatives for Early in the months ahead. Efforts that he expects to turn Flint around. And the people say they're starting to notice.
Some more jobs coming in March for that GM plant. I think that'll definitely help bring Flint back to what it was back in the heyday.
There's actually people that will come from, you know, the outskirts that don't actually live in Flint. They'll come to see the restaurants and they're not afraid to come to Flint anymore, and it's got a little bit better reputation.
Early is optimistic and happy that the governor mentioned Flint last night.
Flint is still capable.
Reporting in Genesee County, I'm Elena Holland, WNEM TV5.
And Flint celebrates this year after seeing a 30% decrease in crime last year. All right, major questions tonight over the way a local hospital is run.
Why the chief operating officer at that hospital was fired just 6 months into his job.
And the woman who lied about having cancer and about being raped has learned her fate. That story tonight at 5:30.
And what looked like a simple shipment of fruit juice turned out to be a huge drug bust. What police found in hundreds of innocent-looking juice cans coming up. Plus,
the president calls for sweeping changes to how the government collects phone records, but will it quiet his critics? I'm Danielle Nottingham at the White House. I'll have the story coming up.